572-0383 or 572-0215. Rev-Up St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Hi, this is Lotus. Join me every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Rev-Up St. Lucia for Unrestricted. What we don't talk about, what we should talk about, and what we will be talking about. Don't forget to join me every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Rev-Up St. Lucia for Unrestricted.
It's now time for Unrestricted, hosted by the beautiful Lotus. Lotus, a very good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning, Andre. Thank you for this wonderful introduction, Andre. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
I mean it.
I know you do. Good morning to X and Facebook and online and Radioland and YouTube. Welcome to Unrestricted, Andre, and welcome everyone.
Okay, it's good to see you again, Lotus.
Yes, good to see you too.
All is well with the family?
Yes, everybody is okay. We had Junekwe all on the weekend, I see, so...
You stayed home or you?
I went out to get something. I didn't cook anything. I went to get something, and I found that for me, we're really commercializing Junekwe
Why do you say
these
that? Why do you say that?
Like, it's about the money. It's not about the taste anymore, I found.
Oh, so it wasn't so tasty what you got?
You spend so much money. Yes, you spend so much money, and like I bought a cup of cocoa tea for $10 and it was bitter. And
you're kidding me.
Oh, I find there's no love in the food, you know. Even the akras had no saltfish, it just had saltfish water.
Oh,
so
man.
I find, I don't know that I will.
That must have been really disappointing.
Yes, it was very disappointing. And the prices are very high. And the thing about it is that I don't mind paying more for stuff, but give me value for my money.
My gosh, man.
I found that.
So when you bought what you got, I guess you didn't taste it right. You went home with it.
Yes, I went home with it. I drove away, and when I tasted it, I was very disappointed because I like my cocoa tea, Andre, and I make a mean cocoa tea, so I know how cocoa tea is supposed to taste.
So do you remember? Do you remember the seller?
No, I wouldn't say the seller. The seller is a big seller. I wouldn't say the seller. You know.
I don't want you to mention anything. I'm just
no. That's what I'm saying. No, of course, I know I will not go there again.
Exactly. No, that's the problem.
That's 2 years in a row, and the things are so expensive. That's my thing is
$10 for
a cup of cocoa tea, and I was like, wow. Okay, obviously, if it's $10, must be have some gold flakes.
No, so probably has tariffs. 100% tariffs.
Tasting good, and I was very, very disappointed. But but people, I like the fact that people, take part in the Journée Creole. People are dressed nicely, and everybody come out and enjoy.
Just to make a quick point, the St. Lucians look forward when you see we get this Accra thing.
That's what I'm
saying. To actually tasting the fish in that.
That's what I'm saying. My daughter loves Accra, and she was looking forward to buying the Accra. The Accra just full of oil and flour.
My.
Nothing. It's like there's no love. Long ago when you taste, and our grandmother or our mothers, the food is so nice. The bouillons are so creamy and nothing. It's just like they just drop things, brap, and then charge you so much money. $20-$25 for a little bowl of bouillon, and then you eat the bouillon and you're really wondering what happened. So I was disappointed, Andre.
Well, next year, check me out. I'll tell you exactly where to go.
Where to go? Okay. I'll hold you to that.
Yes, for sure.
So, welcome to Unrestricted. This morning we have an interesting, a nice topic. But before I go on, let me say good morning to Dr. Feelgood. I know he's listening to the show. He always wants me to shout him out, and I sometimes forget. So, good morning, Dr. Feelgood.
Dr. Feelgood.
That's what he calls himself.
Okay.
A friend of mine. And so this morning we're going to talk about when you are rejected by your in-laws. When you are rejected or you are not accepted by your in-laws, Andre. Have you ever dated a girl, Andre, and the parents just didn't like you?
Well, let me add a little to that. At the beginning, the parents love you. And then now things just turn sour.
Why? because you did that child something?
Are you not talking about me?
No, but
I know somebody's going through that right now. I'm going to message that person while you're talking and ask them to listen.
Wow.
I know somebody's going through that thing right now and it's driving them crazy. Because the in-law was so close. So
well,
close.
Something happened, actually. Because most times, this show is basically they just reject you. They don't like you for whatever reason. Sometimes you meet people and they don't even know anything about you, but sometimes they just don't like you, right? This it happens for whatever reason, whether it's and in the research as we're gonna go through, whether it's because maybe it's a cultural thing. So for instance, if you're an Asian and you bring a black person, they might not like the black person immediately because it's not from their race, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's for that, whether it's for, maybe they heard something about the person, or just, maybe the energy, they just don't like you. And you haven't done anything, you are just being introduced. Now, one of the first things, Andre, I want to find out from our listeners, do you choose your partner or your spouse or your girlfriend over your family, or do you put your family first, or is it only when you're married?
And that situation I'm telling you about, it seems as though the in-law in that particular situation is signaling, not saying it directly, that I want you to put me before this lady.
You mean the family before the lady?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the thing, because the crux of the research, when I look at it, is that they're saying that, especially in marriages, you have to put your spouse first. You're not supposed to put your family first. And there are some situations where people put their family first. And because the family is first, sometimes the in-law always get the shorter end of the stick.
But let me ask you, if it's not a case where there's a marriage, shouldn't the family come first? It's not a marriage. It's just somebody you're dating.
Again, I think you can juggle. It depends on why. Why don't you like the person? What happened? Is there something wrong? And so you want to start from the base, from the bottom, from the inception, when you meet the person, right?
Well, we have to be a little careful there, because sometimes, when we want what we want, we will make excuses. For example,
that's true.
Say the in-law may have a very, very good point, but we may deliberately choose not to understand what the in-law is saying.
Well, you're right. They are different. But the thing is, what is, like you say, there's a reason. Sometimes there are no reasons. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes there are no reasons. You come home, you introduce the person.
You don't think there's always a reason?
Your boyfriend. Some people just don't like. They like I said, they seem. So, for instance, Andre, what if you meet somebody and the person is white? And your family just do not like the person because they're white.
Well, what
kind of reason is that?
No, but that's a reason.
It's a reason, but but do you say, okay, just because I'm not married to you, I will choose my family over you for that reason? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to juggle, I guess, depending on what it is. Really. They're saying to deal with family who doesn't accept your spouse, you have to communicate openly with both your family and the spouse, and try to understand your family's concerns without being defensive, and set clear boundaries to protect your marriage or your relationship. It is crucial to support your spouse, focus on new family, and remember that while you can hope for acceptance, that their approval is not a requirement for your happiness. So you see, Andre, I think all of us want to be liked and want to be loved and want to, we want to be accepted. I wouldn't want to go into a family where the guy parents or family members didn't like me. I wouldn't want to do that. But they're saying that you do not need their approval. But it's always nice to deal well with your in-laws.
I think
nice.
It's crucial.
It's especially
if somebody who you want to have a future with.
A future with. Some people would end the relationship if their parents does not like. I know. I think I would. In certain cultures, for instance, in the Arabs, if the mother says to the son, no, I don't like this girl, he doesn't even question his mother.
That's it.
Because for him, that level of respect that he has for his mom, her judgment is everything. So he actually would break off the relationship with the girl to please his mom. And their culture, it's deep like that, in terms of the level of respect for the elders and that kind of thing. But I think on our side, it doesn't really matter for some people, if you don't like my partner, then that's your problem. Some people are like that. If you don't like my partner, then that's your problem. However, it depends on why you don't like my partner. Maybe we can discuss or to see, what the problem is. And they're saying one of the things I saw first and foremost is that communication is essential. In terms of speaking with your family, ask them calmly why they disapprove of your spouse. Listen to their concerns to understand the root of the issue. Sometimes family members only see the negative aspects of a relationship and have misunderstandings that can be cleared up. So sometimes why they don't like the person is a conversation to have. And I think a lot of us just don't have that conversation because we're big, right? Some of us say we're big. I have a right to choose my man. I have a right to choose my woman, and you shouldn't tell me anything. But I think if you really want your family in your life, or you have a solid family dynamic, it's important to discuss why you not accepting of my boyfriend or my girlfriend or even my spouse.
But sometimes, Lotus, the reason or the reasons that are being given to the other person, they are like trivial.
Well, that's what. So then, therefore, you can make a more informed. For instance, I have a friend of mine. She got a divorce from her husband, and they have a young daughter. And the young daughter does not like anybody she's dating, because again, she's probably, and children are like that. They want their parents to be together.
Yeah.
They don't care whatever it is, So from a child's perspective, it doesn't matter what her mother. This man is nice to her mom. This man is treating her mother, but she doesn't like the man.
Now that's a huge one, huh?
She does not like
when you
the
see
man.
when you see the children don't like your
That's
choice.
what I'm saying.
That's a huge one.
Like the man.
You know that, right?
Yes.
That's even more huge than if your mother or father doesn't like the person.
That's what I'm saying. And
your child.
But the daughter is a little young, and we were talking about it, and she was saying, well, she's thinking of having a conversation with the daughter, and I'm thinking, well, it depends. Even then, because the child is young and maybe she may not understand certain things that you're trying to explain to her, but she doesn't like the man.
You know that happened to me many years ago. I was dating a particular person, and my son Hassani, he was a young boy,
and he
didn't like her at all. I tried one time. I tried taking him to the cinema along with the female, right? He didn't want to even sit near where we were sitting.
Children can be like that. They can be very
I asked him why. What's the problem?
Territorial.
He said, Daddy, I don't know. I just don't like her.
Wow. Yeah. And more often than not, I find children do not accept somebody that you're bringing in. For them, maybe they see it as replacing their dad or their mom. I don't know. Maybe they see it as that, a replacement. Or maybe, again, energy. Sometimes children just don't like the person. I mean, the person is not there.
But I had to end it because he didn't feel comfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was the main reason why you
at that time he didn't like her.
He didn't like her at all. Wow.
I tell you, I'll take him to the cinema there. She's there, and he wouldn't sit next to us. He just go in some other little space.
Oh my goodness. Well, I made a conscious decision when my husband and I went our separate ways. I made a conscious decision not to bring another person to my kids, and it's not only because I felt they wouldn't accept it. I did not have a good stepfather, and I was afraid to repeat. I didn't want any man come in and be my children's stepfather, and he was a bad stepfather. So for me, it was my experience as a child. I didn't want to impose. I was paranoid about that, but
rightly so.
Yeah. But
rightly so.
Andre, give the numbers to our our listeners so they can call me and let me know.
Okay.
How they feel about.
The fixed line is 572-9710. Fixed line 572-9710, or you can WhatsApp 287-0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971. Again, the fixed line 572-9710, or WhatsApp 287-0971. Now, Lotus, to be honest with you, I have been, in this life for a while.
Yes, Andre, I know.
And I've had a few. I mean, a few ladies in my life. I can't remember a time when the person's parents didn't like me.
You?
As a matter of fact, there was one particular time, right? A lady, I guess maybe she was falling out of love with me, and she tried her best to get the family to be against me. I remember that well. We were in the vehicle, and I was driving my vehicle, and her parents were in the vehicle with her, and she's there telling them things about me, right?
Wow.
Right there, telling them things about me to get them against me. I can never forget. The father said to her, "I find no fault with Andre."
That's right.
I say, yes, I.
But the thing is, how can you try to get to turn your family against?
Well,
But you know, maybe there are situations where,
angry at me.
where
She
it
was right.
happens, eh?
She had reason to be
She had
angry at
reason
me.
But you can't turn somebody's family against them. Family sometimes always choose their child. It doesn't matter what's going on. I'm like you. I haven't had many, but I have not had the unfortunate event of having somebody or experience of having a family member that do not like me. I mean, you know.
I think I have certain advantages.
What
over
advantages?
the ordinary guys? Yeah,
What?
because the fact is that I'm a public figure. People see me. People know me for times here. People tell me, little boy, I watching you, and I know you. I've seen you. I wanted to meet you. So that gives me a little edge. Yeah, over the typical other guy who wants to get into the good books of in-laws.
Well, the other thing, Andre, the research is saying is that you have to speak with your spouse. Have a heart-to-heart with your partner about your feelings and their concerns. Your spouse can help mediate the situation and will be your primary support system. So you have to have a discussion with the person to see how they feel about that. Like you said, I mean, you ended the relationship because your child was not accepting of the person. But some people, they have to sit and have a discussion to see, you know, how they can create sort of an environment that would be more like a healthier environment, to see if the family would come around, or if it's something that they give some time. Because in the research, it's also saying you have to be patient. Sometimes when people come into our lives, we cannot just all of a sudden have them all up in our space. Sometimes mothers feel that separation with their sons, especially when people are getting married. They feel like you're coming to take their son away from them. Yeah. I have heard people say that a lot. My son is not married, so I have not had that, experience. But I think I would want my son to go. I don't want my son to stay.
When you say to go, what do you mean?
To stay in my house and stay, that kind of thing. But some parents, they feel like there's the separation, like you will take their son away from them, or like because the son is now married, the time that you spend with your son will be reduced, obviously, because now the son has a family. And
don't forget, sometimes, or maybe in most cases, there are benefits, and the benefits will
go down.
Yeah, will be reduced or eliminated.
Interesting, Andre.
Yes.
So you think that if, for instance, if the son was giving the mother money, the mother will not get the money anymore, or may get a reduced amount because now he has a wife.
Or wiped out completely.
Or wiped out completely. These are some of the things, Andre. But you have to have those discussions with your spouse. Address misunderstandings. Clearly explain what your perspective and your commitment to your spouse is, whilst also letting your family know that you care about them. Because again, that's a critical one, Andre, because there seems to be a divide in terms of who is more important. Is my family more important or my spouse more important? And I think you should not be placed in a position to choose your family or your spouse. I think you should not be placed in that position.
Well, I agree with you, but I'm sure there are people who probably wouldn't say it out loud, but they feel you need to make a decision here, and I want you to side with me. I want you to side with me.
Yeah, well, if you're married, I mean, other people might say, if you even though you're not married, you have a relationship that should come first. You understand? But for me, I think it should just be. These are two mutually exclusive things. I should be able to have a relationship with my family and be able to discuss with my family well enough, and also have my spouse. And if my family is not accepting of my spouse, then we set some boundaries. But I don't think that I have to force my family on my spouse or hold my spouse hostage because my family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. And there's some mothers who make the sons feel that they have to make a choice, right? Between me, I'm the one who carried you for 9 months.
Yes. What's that?
I'm the one who raised you. I made all these sacrifices for you.
Yes.
And you want to choose this person over me?
But does that have anything to do with you choosing a spouse, in terms of not having that? To me, that's not tied to not having gratitude for your family, your love.
I'm not talking about a wife, I'm talking about a girlfriend.
A girlfriend.
Right?
Even then, what is the reason why you feel you have that authority over me as my mother?
Because
or
I
my
don't like,
father?
I'm speaking for the mother, because I don't like that girl for you. I don't like that girl for you.
But that's your perspective or your opinion.
Now, here's the problem of sometimes, Lotus. Sometimes they are right.
Sometimes they are. You're
They're
right.
right sometimes.
They are. But how do you know that from the jump? Now, that's another discussion, Andre, because sometimes parents, for some reason, I don't know what it is, especially mothers, less, the fathers are less. I don't know if the fathers maybe don't have that connection. But for some reason...
Always the mothers.
Usually,
yeah,
yes,
that's
the mothers.
true.
Your
That is
mother
true.
always will come and she will say, Weti boy, sir. My meti boy, sir. And many times people will tell you, my mother was right.
Mhm.
Or they will say they do not like a particular friend of yours.
Mhm.
You'll have like 3 or 4 friends come into the house and your mother will pull you on the side and she'll tell you, oh, Salah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, you are in the middle of this thing now. I'm speaking from the perspective of a male.
Mm-hmm.
I have my girlfriend. She doesn't like the girlfriend, right? And she's made that clear to me. Now, I know that my mother is a very smart woman. I'm just speaking in general. Yeah. My mother is a very smart woman. I know she loves me. I know she wants what's best for me. So now I have to think about this thing. Do I side with the girlfriend or do I side with my
your
mother?
mother,
Now, sometimes I'm so in love there with this girl, okay, that now I end up having arguments with my mother over her.
Yes.
Because as you said a while ago, that you try to have a conversation. So you go and you try and speak. But Mom, why don't you like her? And she'll either tell you, well, my may this and that, and or she
That's
may
right.
just say, "When just by me."
By me, yes.
Now this is the one that has pissed you off.
Yes.
When you
because
just by
you
me.
don't have a reason.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a reason.
So now you end up in an argument now. Sometimes that thing comes, it ends
And
up exploding.
And not only that, it affects the relationship you have with your own mother.
That's correct.
And
Exactly.
I think that's where the rejection of your spouse or girlfriend, is really difficult, because imagine you have a really good relationship with your mother, a really good relationship with your father, and this person comes into your life and all of a sudden your relationship with your family is just...
Especially your mother.
Yes.
Because, in the Caribbean, we, Caribbean men, men especially, we have this affinity, not just love, this affinity towards mothers, because especially it was a single parent family,
yes,
right? You know all the sacrifices this lady made for you.
Yes.
You're aware
and
of
there's
that.
a certain type of respect
Boy, and admiration, reverence.
Yes. And so you
Boy.
really caught between a rock and a hard place now,
My
because
God.
you have your relationship and you really care about this person, and especially if the person is really good to you, Andre. There's nothing that the person has done that make you feel threatened or that the relationship will not work. And here's your mother or your father categorically not wanting that person in your life.
Telling you.
It's a lot of strain on...
Let me just give the numbers again. Okay, the fixed line is 572-9710, 572-9710, or you can WhatsApp 287-0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971. I'm sure there's so many people out there who
Of course.
either going through this thing that we're talking about or
Of
have been
course.
through it.
Now, we're going to look at setting
Okay,
boundaries.
we have somebody on the
We have a call?
on the line. Yes.
Oh.
Okay, this is Unrestricted with Lotus.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Andre. Good morning, Lotus.
Good morning.
Good morning to our dear friend. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, fine, thank you.
All right.
Okay, thanks for accepting my call.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Well, I have been rejected. Yeah. I was dating somebody, and the mother came to me and told me, hey, Joe, I don't want you for my daughter. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So then I went to the girl. I told her, look, your mother said she doesn't want me for you. How she told you that? She told me, yes, her mother told her that too. Then I said, but if your mother told you that, why didn't you tell me that? You understand?
Mhm.
So I'll know where I stand. But with that, Andre, she was at her mother's home, and I was almost in between. So the relationship, I left. And now I didn't leave her because her mother said she didn't want me, for her, I left her based on her mother told her she doesn't want me, and she did not tell me that. That's why I break that relationship.
Wow.
Yeah, she should have told me,
Wow.
your mother said she doesn't want you for me.
So what difference would that,
So
would that
yeah.
have made? What difference would that have made as far as your decision is
Andre,
concerned?
if she told me, hey, B, my mother doesn't like you, for me, then I would adjust myself. You understand? Because by your mother telling you she doesn't want me for you, and you kept that, I couldn't trust her anymore. I couldn't trust a relationship with her. I could not
Well, she
trust that
probably didn't
relationship.
want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
it's
sure.
not something that's easy to just tell somebody my mother doesn't like you. She probably didn't want to hurt your feelings, but you saw it as a betrayal.
And also, she probably didn't want him to leave her on getting to know
exactly
that the mother didn't like him. Maybe that too. You didn't.
But by telling me that, but from there, that's where the truth and the trust comes in. Tell me, you know the truth and you're hiding it from me. Tell me.
Wow.
But as a parent, I believe we parent, especially me, I have a right to tell my daughter, look, I don't love this fella for you. I don't want this fella for you. Yeah, I think every parent has that.
But if you now I agree with you. But do you think now you should go as far as developing an attitude toward this boy, this guy?
No, because I have my daughter, Andre. She's married now, and I always said to her, look, the man who will take you away from my house, that's the man I want to marry you. And it happened.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, it happened. Now, if this fella, I didn't like his attitude, whatever, Andre, I'll tell my daughter that. I'll tell her, look, I don't like this guy for you, and I want you to tell him that.
So let's just assume she told him, and the guy still insisted on dating her, and she wants to date the guy as well. What would you have done?
No, Andre, I would have tell her things. I would have show her things. Andre, I would have tell her, look, why you like this guy? What he's doing? What? Then that's where the communication comes in, Andre, with your child, Andre. Look, what?
But you wouldn't plot. But you wouldn't plot to keep them, apart.
No. I say, look, he pays the bills. He what happened? He treats you good, or he does certain things. I would guide my daughter along, Andre. But I always believe that parents have that right to tell the daughter, look, I don't want this person. I don't like this person for you. Yeah, you have the right to say that, Andre. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, sir.
All right.
Thank you very much. We have another call.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Yeah, good day to you all, Apostle Paul.
Hey, good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Yes.
And Lotus.
Yeah, good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
If I'm the apostle, then Lotus should be the nun.
If she wants to be. Yeah, man.
Yes.
But very good topic, and I mean,
thanks.
I can give you my experience, because that's what you're looking for, experiences, right?
Yes.
Well, as Brother Paul knows, or Apostle Paul knows, I'm a fair-skinned one. I don't want to say Shabin, because most people will not look at me and call me Shabin, although my mom is from the land of the Shabin, which is
Joselle.
So I'm actually darker than my mother, if you have to look at us based on complexion. But but my experience, to tell you the truth, and not just marriage-wise, even dating, my complexion got me in trouble. You mentioned Arabs. I'm partly from an Arab, background. My dad is Arab. My mom is, St. Lucian. So, because of that unique background, I usually say I don't fly no flag. I don't, support no color. So basically, I'm not black, I'm not white. I don't want to be any part of, that whole race thing.
Okay.
So that was my whole modus operandi from the time I was young. I never saw people based on their skin color. I saw people based on their character. And I think what they used to say when we were younger: don't judge a book by its cover.
Yes.
So I took that very seriously. You don't look at somebody and say, oh, that person this and that person that, so that means they're supposed to be this or that. Now, even like I was saying, dating, different people, I found myself in trouble because most Lucians think that, and I'm not blaming them for thinking like that, but most Lucians think that Arab men just come down here to use locals. So basically, that's the perception, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, but everybody is not the same. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
That's true.
So everybody, they put everybody in that bracket. Even discounting the fact that I'm a born St. Lucian.
Wow.
So that didn't mean anything to them because that whole stereotype, that whole that whole cultural thing was clearly evident. And even for me in terms of marriage, when I finally got married, most of the girls I dated were shabby, Brother Paul. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife is a very dark-skinned, half-Indian, very beautiful woman, as far as I'm concerned. I care about the rest. And to me, when I saw her, all I know is that I wanted her, and basically, who was standing in the way, I didn't want to say I would bulldoze them, but it didn't really matter.
Okay.
So for me, like I had that strong will, that strong motivation, for what I wanted. And she also had a very strong mind, and I think that's what helped the situation. Because if it wasn't for that, I think we probably would not have been married if it wasn't for both, and I say both our parents.
Okay, so they were accepting.
Nobody was accepting.
Oh wow, okay.
Nobody. To show you how much of a war it was, we actually got married on the fort, where people fought wars in Pigeon Island.
Wow.
It was the first wedding ceremony according to them that took place, but I think it was fitting for the type of people who were in there.
So let me ask you a question. After your marriage, I mean, and over time, has it gotten better? I mean, is it good now that the family is all accepting, or do you still have that rift? Hello?
Seems we lost them. Okay, we lost them. Okay, we have somebody else on the line.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Good morning. Good morning, Lois. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Interesting topic.
Thank you.
I do think that I don't think even though you're married or not, I think that your relationship should come first in a degree. Like you should still respect your family and still, but let me give you an example. I was in a relationship and the parents, not even the parent, I guess the whole family, they were really, really bad. And then my partner, when he was working at the hotel, and he had someone from Trinidad, like in the band, came, and he was drunk and he attacked me. And I pick up the phone and I call my partner's mother, asking for help, and they never came.
Wow.
I had to stay in that room until my partner came home from work, and then end up at the hospital. And then he left on the ship, and those people were horrible. Everybody would just come do whatever they want in their house, and they would say, "It's my uncle home, it's my this home, and I have no right."
Wow.
And I made a decision that when he came back, if he did not support me and if he did not think what they did to me was wrong, that would have been the end of the relationship. And so he came, and he barely came into the house. He went straight to his mother, his family, and he came back just complaining, and I just left.
Wow.
So what do you do in a situation like that? It's not even the mother, the entire family. They have no reason. They don't even know you.
Yes. But you see, one of the things I think I'm hearing is the setting of the foundation with your partner, and it seems that he was not supportive of your relationship. The foundation of that relationship was rocky as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They always put the family first.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So in that situation, I think like it doesn't matter if you're married or not. They should have that respect of,
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
So thank you. Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have another call, Lotus.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted. Hello?
Hello? Okay, nobody's there.
Okay.
Let me just give the numbers again. The first line is 572-9710, 572-9710, or the WhatsApp platform 0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971. We have somebody on the fixed line.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Yeah, I just called back. I don't know what
Yes.
happened to the reception.
Okay. I couldn't hear you.
It
For,
just,
Mhm.
it just disconnected.
You heard the question I had asked you before you
No,
left?
actually, I didn't. I wasn't hearing nothing you were saying.
I was asking you if over time, after the marriage, is there closeness in the family now, acceptance in the family, or if there's still separation?
There's always a level of acceptance when you commit, when you take that step, that leap forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most people tend to see that, but at the end of the day, I personally believe it's something that's still there. I can tell you that for sure. When my daughter came into the picture, then it got a little bit, less, because, when children come
Children,
in,
yes.
children always tend to, warm
Soften,
people's hearts
yes.
and stuff like that, especially the grandparents.
Yes.
So they have no choice in a situation like that but to, go along,
That's
so to
right.
speak. But I always find these sorry to say, but these multiracial relationships, because like I did identify that my dad did marry a St. Lucian, so he set the stage already, but I think that's something that we really as a people need to open up to, because, it's 2025.
Yes.
Arabs, Indians, all of these people have been here, and a lot of them stick to the culture, but there are a few of them
Yes,
who
you're right. Who
don't
venture
stick
out.
to the culture and don't look at people based on skin color or whatever, cultural, heritage that you have.
I think that's what maybe keeps it a little bit taboo, is because of the small mingling. I think the people keep to their culture so tightly that when you go out of it, the perception or just maybe people's experiences, but maybe if we mingled a little more, maybe people would be more accepting. I'm thinking that might be what it is, Andre, because you find maybe it's a level of comfort. If you're a St. Lucian, maybe you will look to marry a St. Lucian if you went somewhere else instead of marrying a whole new person.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you see, again, my perception is, what's a St. Lucian? What's a Syrian? What's a Jamaican? What's an American? We are all the same people.
It's
we
true,
give
but people just
each
look.
other those distinctions.
Yes, you're right.
we divide ourselves based on those characteristics.
We do.
And I think, Brother Paul, I even mentioned the whole idea of race. This is something that was brought on by Europeans, where they had what they call the scientific racism, where they divided people on a scientific level, and based on their skin color, and that was wrong. Okay, we are just different shades of brown. That's all it is. It's very simple.
That's right.
But again, we bring in race, we bring in politics, we bring in so many different things that put a division. And when, like you say, two people love each other, it should not matter what skin color or what background, or if you have money, or if you have this. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes, I understand.
So at the end of the day, that's what really makes, humanity what it is. Not all of these rules and regulations and, stuff that keep us apart.
Yes.
But give thanks for your time, and
thank you.
Take care.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, you
all
too.
right. All right. We have somebody else on the line.
Hello, good morning.
Andre Paul and Lotus, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
How are you all doing?
We're fine. What about you?
I'm all right.
Have you been rejected in a relationship?
I'll tell you. I don't know where you'll get your topics from, but you'll have some interesting topic.
Thank you.
One thing I must let, because the whole world is listening to that program. Don't forget, your mother is the one who made you. And when your mother tells you something, you have to be aware. Because when you go and get involved with a man or a woman and things go wrong, you go back. That's where you go back, to your mother's home.
True.
Right? So I always obeyed my mother.
Wow.
Always. You will find another woman, but you will not find another mother.
Okay.
Right? So, my advice to people, you're a man, you get involved with a woman, that woman have to have almost the same amount of love you have for your mother. Okay? When I tell her we're going at home today, if she is not busy, we have to go together. If you cannot share the same love I have with my mother, then there's something wrong with you.
This I did on Wednesday from 4 to 10.
That's how it is. with me.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Now, listen, I'm telling you something else. I've had a few girlfriends in my life, but my mother never rejected them.
Okay.
You remember I told you one of them had me to climb a guigu tree without shoes?
Mm-hmm.
She should have rejected this one. She should have really rejected that one. But she no. They say it's not everything that glitter is gold.
Mm-hmm.
So I take a clear way me batilo. But the others will.
Okay.
My wife, who is there with me right now, listening to what I'm saying.
I'm not interested in.
She is.
We heard what she said. We heard what she said.
Yeah, she said she's not interested.
That's right.
She's not just, she's diamond, she's all kind of jewelry.
Mm.
I have a lovely wife. I treat her right, she treats me right.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, our friend. Thank you very much for that contribution. Thanks a lot for calling. Lotus, before we move on, I'll give you a little story and then I have a question.
Okay.
Okay? I have a little story. I was attending a particular event. I have to be very careful because sometimes the people are listening.
Yeah.
I was attending an event, and at that time I was dating a particular female. And when we got to the event, okay, somebody who was kind of close to me, right? Somebody who I knew, a male, he was dating a particular lady. So I introduced my lady to his lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get me so far?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first time they ever met. They had never met before. So before I introduced them, they had never met before, these two ladies.
Okay.
So I removed myself from the company of the male and his lady, and I was spending some time now with my lady. And the lady said to me, "You see this girl that's there? This girl will give that guy a lot of trouble." Okay?
No.
And that's the first time she ever met that lady. She said to me, "This girl will give that guy a lot of trouble." So I said to her, "How do you know something like that?" She said to me, "Because I'm a woman." Okay? Right. So that's a little story. And pray tell, it was bad for the guy.
Really?
Oh, man, it was bad. It was so bad that this guy called me and asked me if I had room at my house.
Wow.
It was so bad. Okay? And I remember I said to the lady, "You know, you were right about that." So that just leads me to my question. What is it that your ladies have like that? What is it that you'll have like that?
Andre, it's not even
that can seem to kind of like decipher something, right? You all know how I don't get it, and that's the thing I'm telling you about, especially where sons are concerned.
Yeah.
They have, I think they are petrified of going against what their mother says to them, out of fear that she may just be right.
It's not even intuition sometimes. It's just maybe the language. Maybe when she spoke to that lady,
she didn't say anything much.
The language.
Say hello.
Maybe
she just said hello.
Maybe her aura. Maybe something, the way she looked at her. You know, there's
there you go.
Like you say, there's sometimes we don't have to say things. Body language is everything. Sometimes it's just little clues that people give. But sometimes there's no reason and sometimes you meet somebody, you just don't like them for the smallest thing without getting to know them. And one of the things the research is saying is that you have to set clear boundaries in your relationship. The caller before the last, he spoke about marrying his wife and not being concerned about whether or not the parents were accepting. You have to set clear boundaries, because at the end of the day, Andre, you're also an adult. So sometimes, even if your parents may not approve of a relationship, they can tell you that they don't approve, but they should not go above and beyond to do things to make your spouse uncomfortable or to run behind your spouse.
Now, I know that's not what you're talking about, Lotus, but I think it's important. Let me ask you something. When a mother, when a son or daughter introduces their potential boyfriend or girlfriend to a mother, just imagine it's you.
Yes.
Just imagine it's you, right? What are the things that are important to you all as parents? What is it that is important that you feel that this person doesn't possess those things? Or what is it that you feel that person should possess?
Well, Andre, for me, I remember when my daughter had her first little boyfriend, he came to me and asked me if he could date her. And they were, 19,
a little
18,
gentleman,
19.
that's a little
yes.
gentleman.
And for me, that was really, that stood out for me, that he came and he introduced himself and he asked me for permission. He was actually asking for my hand in girlfriendship. he said, I would like to go out with, your daughter. And I found that to be very nice, well-mannered. And it made me feel like he was raised right. And he showed me that all during. So for me, there was no reason, even when he and my daughter would have disagreements, or my daughter would express certain things maybe in his character, I did not get involved in any significant way to separate them or do anything, because for me, he had manners enough to communicate, and the way he communicated.
So for you as parents, you think manners is important?
Manners is very important. The way you carry yourself, your
language,
how you treat my daughter, the things he would do for my daughter, the way he treated her, he always treated her like a lady. So for me, these things are important. Honesty, respect. You come into my house, you say good morning. You engage me.
What about leaving your shoes outside?
Well, I mean, it depends on what the rules are for the house.
Some people do that.
But Andre, the thing about it is that some spouses too, or girlfriends, they feel like they have no respect for the parents as well. If they know, okay, the parent don't like them, or maybe there's a little thing you figure the mother do like you come with more attitude.
Yeah, that's right.
You come with more attitude. Your nose open. You're ready to fly on the parents. And you're not helping the thing along. So I think parents look for certain things, and if you're trying to find favor, although you're not. I don't think that you should try to do too much to impress people's family. I think it should just be natural. I think it's too much because the parents can see when you're trying to do too much. There are some girlfriends and boyfriends that want to bring gifts every 2 minutes for the parents, and the parents probably don't like you, and you're spending all your money to bring a gift. You try to get to know them.
Maybe the sense that
maybe
they don't like them.
Trying to get to know the person. But I think for setting boundaries, it's really important in relationships, especially in marriages, where your parents are concerned, because some parents feel like they own their children. You don't. If your daughter or son is going to make a decision to get married, they are adults, and you have to trust that what you have taught them, that they will do well by it. And also, if you do not like a girl or you do not like a guy, eventually, maybe if you see something there, maybe your child will find out eventually. Because if you really don't like that person, Andre, and that person, maybe you pick up that person is dishonest, trust me, that person will not be able to hide it for all the time. So I think you have to give your children an opportunity to make their own decisions.
Yeah, I think some parents think that their children are always children.
That's what I'm saying. We look at our children and we love our children. I mean, we love our kids, we love our children. They may be married for
and we want
years,
to protect them,
but we
from
want to protect
mistakes.
them from. But we cannot protect them from everything, Andre. We have to help them. We have to let them make their own mistakes so they can build their own resilience. They can flex the muscles of
that's true,
courage.
Lotus. But sometimes those choices that they make, sometimes they will have some serious negative impacts on the offspring. Right?
Yeah, but Andre, you still have to let them make those mistakes, Andre. All of us have a journey, right? obviously, if you see your child going to fall in a ditch,
Yeah.
you will want to save your child. Of course, that's hands down. But you cannot make every decision for them. You may see them going in and pick up a particular girl or a particular guy, and you're like, that guy.
Or a particular way of life.
Yes, maybe that guy is selling drugs. Let's just say in your mind,
That's right.
or somebody tell you that guy is a drug dealer. Even if you tell your daughter that, you can tell your daughter that, you can, talk to her about it, whatever, and she still wants to make that decision. Why would you start treating the guy badly? Now you're going to affect the relationship between you and your daughter.
No, that's a good point you're making.
Yes, so you have to now.
That's a good point that you're
not
making.
Accommodate him, but look to see how you can have your daughter to open up her eyes instead of trying to break them up. Just go slowly. Be patient. If your daughter is thinking of the right thing, she will realize that she's making a wrong decision. But if you put too much pressure on the relationship between the two of them, you're driving a wedge between your child and yourself.
For example, especially as you mentioned, that's an extreme example, but it's a good one about the guy maybe involved in drugs.
Yes.
And as far as you're concerned, this is my house. I don't want no drugs man coming at my house.
Exactly.
And for a number of good reasons, For a number of good reasons.
Or sometimes too, Andre, as parents, like the one of the callers was saying, our perception, we have a particular look about somebody. Sometimes a guy come to the house, he's wearing a baggy pants, immediately we say we don't want that guy looking like a drug dealer. You know what I mean? And he's probably not
just a baggy pants, the one
hanging out from
his
butt.
Yeah, boy.
So sometimes we make those, but where is that coming from? He may actually be a really nice guy, So it's the reasons. I mean, are the reasons founded on facts? What are you not liking the person for? Why are you treating the person that way? And
but Lotus,
as a parent,
if you see your daughter, for example, dating a guy who is a drugs man, okay, you know that your daughter's life is in danger.
Yes. So of course you have to
not
try
only
to,
when she leaves the house and goes out, but when the guy comes to your property, your residence. There's a possibility there may be some shootout or something. You understand?
Yes, you're right.
So parents, so as you said a while ago, the parent now would get on the guy's case now, tell him I don't want you coming around here, this sort of thing, and then now causing a wedge now.
Yes.
Boy,
yes.
That's deep.
And I think especially in marriages now, you have to set expectations as well. People have expectations of how the marriage is going to be, especially if the mother does not like you. You now have to set an expectation, set a boundary. Is your mother allowed to come to my house every Sunday without saying good morning? You know there are situations like that, right? The mother does not like the wife, or the father doesn't like the husband, or and then you come to my house and you have no manners. You come in and you enter and you talk to me how you want, and then my spouse is not supportive. He's not saying that is wrong. He's not addressing the situation, Andre.
Now, there's a flip side to the coin about the drugs thing. There's a flip side. You have a family that's had it hard all during their life. Single mom raising this daughter, beautiful daughter, and the guy comes into her life, and the guy is bringing resources. Right, he fixes the home. The home is looking a lot better now. You don't have a pit toilet anymore. You have flush this and flush that. You have.
You might end up liking him because
you might like him. You might like the guy even if. And guess what? Sometimes the daughter wants to leave him now. You're telling him.
Yes, you're right. There are situations like that, Andre. But I think again, to just focus on the topic, if you are rejected, you have to set expectations. You have to let the parents and in-laws know how often you plan to visit them. So you set that kind of expectation. So you're not just coming at my home, Andre. Because there are some people, even if you get married, the mother and father feel like it's their child, so they can come when they want.
Yes.
So you have to set, you have to set boundaries and set expectations as well. Handle in-laws who live close by. Again, you have to handle them, because if you don't, they could run amok. One of the callers was saying how because the house was the man's own, the nephews, the cousins, everybody felt they could come there and treat her anyway, and he obviously did not set a boundary to say you cannot come to my house, especially when you have family houses. You know what I mean? Like you go to live at your spouse's house, and the house was given by the parents. even if you're married to him, they feel as if they have the right because it's their land and their house, and so they can come in and treat the person anyhow. But I think you, as the man or the woman, must set that boundary with your own parents to say, no, that's not acceptable. It's not something I want to accommodate. You understand? The other thing is, I know that the time is coming.
Yes, we
Andre.
have just a couple of minutes.
We have a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to say no. Saying no can be difficult, especially when you want to maintain good relationships. However, if you have to be firm but kind and offer alternative solutions if possible and stand by your decision as a couple. That's the other thing too, Andre. Sometimes decisions are made, only the man makes the decision and then the woman say, well, I don't know anything about that. You have to come together and stand as a couple if you're going to, say no to parents or in-laws. You have to do it together. That's where you get the level of respect. So you have to now also create new traditions. Sometimes parents have their own traditions, and because you get married and you want to have your new traditions now at your home, they're upset. They want you to come to theirs, and sometimes they alienate their own children because of the in-law of the spouse that they don't like. But all in all, I think the entire thing is about communication and ensuring that you can save relationships rather than break them up.
I agree.
But in some situations, you might have to break up a relationship, Andrew.
In fact, sometimes you have to leave.
Some
people leave.
Not only the relationship, but they end relationships with their parents.
Yes, I'm talking about sometimes you have to leave.
You have to leave.
Yeah, leave the
sever
home. Yeah.
The relationship because there is no resolve. But hopefully, communication is something that, if it's good, then we can have resolved and we can, have better relationships where in-laws and spouses are concerned. But happy relationshiping. I hope people are able to accept their in-laws and communicate a little better.
Okay, Lotus, thank you very much. Great show.
Welcome.
Yeah, great topic today. Thank you very much.
Andre.
Till next time, next week, Wednesday, same time, 9 o'clock for another Unrestricted hosted by Lotus. Thank you very much for your service, Lotus.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you for engaging me. Thank you as always.
My pleasure. You've been listening to and viewing on Facebook, YouTube, and also on X, Unrestricted with Lotus, every Wednesday on Rev-Up St. Lucia from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So now stand by for Mind Matters. That's coming up next with Dr. Julius Gillian. Stay tuned.